Now we got to talk about the tropics because there are two different areas to watch right now that the Hurricane Center is highlighting. The first one here is this wave. It's kind of coming off the west coast of Africa. We'll have to watch it as it moves into that yellow oval in the coming days. There's a lot that could change with the forecast beyond that 7 to 10 day period. So I do want to note that up front. But right now, it's really looking like this is not going to be a Gulf Coast threat. More likely than not, we kind of see it take a path that keeps it out in the Atlantic Ocean, which is the best case scenario for us. Don't see a lot that could change that, but again, the possibility is still there. I'm going to be watching it, and I'll give you the first alert if anything significant does change. The second area to watch, of course, you might have noticed a whole lot closer to us in the state of Louisiana. So I'm going to readjust the map here, watching a tropical wave that's off the east coast of Florida. It'll be moving across Florida, so it won't do much over land, but then it will still need to be watched as it moves back into the northeastern Gulf. With that said, I know it might sound a little scary. You know, we're watching something that could be tropical a little closer to home, but there are a few points that I want to make about the system. First off, this is the same area of low pressure that I've been giving you the first alert about for several days as being a rainmaker, mainly to the coast, and that is going to remain the same. Tropical development, tropical organization of that wave is very unlikely, but even if it does develop into an organized system, its impact on us will not change whatsoever. We may get a few spotty storms out of it, but beyond that, not really expecting any kind of crazy impacts. In fact, you can see here on our available moisture, again, organized or not, it's going to drive more moisture into the state of Louisiana. You can see by Sunday morning, already starting to see that moisture uptick there in southeastern Louisiana. Slowly starts to move to the north, where you see these kind of orange, red colors. That indicates higher concentrations of moisture. That's Monday morning. We keep moist air in place really through the middle of the week. That's when our rain chances are going to be the highest, but not necessarily high by any means, at least not at this time. And then we start to see those rain chances taper off toward the end of the week. Here's a look at those rain chances for the next week. 10% chance of rain on Saturday. Also going with the 10% chance of rain on Friday. Need to bump that up just a little bit. 20% chance Sunday, and that's going to continue through Wednesday. Beyond that, though, we're going to start drying out. And while the moisture will be available in our atmosphere through the beginning of next week to see a couple of isolated showers and storms, that doesn't mean all of us will see that kind of rain. So I do expect rain to be very isolated to scattered, very similar to what we saw this afternoon, where not everybody sees rain, but a few locations that hit the jackpot for the day will end up getting a few heavy downpours. Here's a look at that rainfall forecast for the next 7 days. I agree with this somewhat, and I'll tell you what I agree with and what I don't. You'll notice as you head down toward New Orleans, the chance for several inches of rain is possible. Again, that's where the highest rainfall will likely occur. With that said, most of us across Louisiana expecting very minimal amounts of rain. With that said, where it changes is similar to today. You get that perfect heavy downpour that is very slow moving, just kind of sits over the same areas for a while. Wouldn't be surprised to see a few locations see 1 to 2 inches, maybe some isolated higher amounts in those very tiny little isolated storms if they have some heavy rain in them. But again, that's not going to be the case for everybody that ends up picking up a little bit of rain next week. So do want to make that clear up front. When it comes to temperatures,